Hello my friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I had for you today were my 10 stranded on a desert island movie picks. But what I decided to do instead was put that video off to the side and record something new, because I realized that we are getting to the home stretch of the Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale. It ends on August 4th. So what I wanted to do is try and get one, maybe two more Criterion videos in for you guys of pickups and mini reviews, so that maybe it can help you with your shopping or whatever you're gonna put on your list for pickups. And I know some things are starting to sell out on Barnes & Noble online. My store doesn't carry any inventory, but what I've been able to do is find things on Amazon, and the prices are pretty competitive. As I know, Amazon is pretty competitive all year with most titles, not all, especially the box sets. The box sets go right back up. But just for regular Blu-ray titles, they're pretty competitive all year. So I'm just going to run through, I have, I think, 7 or 8 pickups that I have here. I still have other things that are sitting around that I haven't shown you yet, or a few that are coming in the mail. So I will get to those in the next video, but I'm just going to run through my pickups, and then I'm going to do 3 movies that I have watched recently, and I'll do a little more in-depth reviews, more overviews than reviews, and you can decide if you want to add them to your collection. So I'm going to get going with Spine number 987, which is my first pickup, and this movie has more memes running around on social media than any Criterion movie I think I've ever seen. And the reason for that is because if you know or you don't know, everybody was waiting and waiting for the announcement of Spine 1000, which turned out to be, if you haven't heard already, a Godzilla movie set, which looks to be really nice, amazing set. And if you're into Godzilla, definitely check that out. But instead of making the announcement, they announced this movie, Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland in Clute. And this is a really great movie. It's from 1971. I'd seen it before, but I hadn't seen it in a long time. So as soon as I got it, I immediately decided to watch it, and I really wasn't disappointed. I remembered why I loved it so much. Jane Fonda plays a call girl. Donald Sutherland plays an investigator. There's a missing persons thing going on, which leads Donald Sutherland to Jane Fonda's character, whose name is Bree, and they kind of have this back and forth thing, friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, but their on-screen chemistry is amazing. And Jane Fonda, really, this movie should have been, or could have been, called Bree, because Jane Fonda is this movie. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Check it out, do your homework, watch some trailers, but yeah, definitely I would say put Clute on your list of titles to check out, because it's definitely a good one. And they both do a fantastic job. And it's a good story, too. It's a good psychological thriller. Really very interesting. The next one that I got is Spine number 974, The Heiress. And this one is from 1949, I'm sorry. It's in black and white. It is in English. And this is about a woman. She is the daughter of a wealthy man. So she is ready, she is set to inherit quite a bit of money. And apparently she's not a very attractive woman, and she doesn't have really good manners and things like that. And when she catches the attention of a man who is a spendthrift, but I guess he's a very handsome man, her father starts to wonder if the man is really interested in her, or if he's interested in her inheritance. So that's basically what the movie's about. I have never seen this. I've heard wonderful things, so I am really looking forward to checking this one out. And this next one is Spine number 558. It is called Topsy Turvy, and it's pretty cool. If you look at there's the cover, and then if you turn it upside down, you can see, you can look at the cover either way. This one is from 1999. It's actually 160 minutes, so this is a long one, and I'm just going to read a blurb from the back. The world of Gilbert and Sullivan comes to vivid life in director Mike Leigh's extraordinary dramatization of the staging of the duo's legendary 1885 comic opera, The Mikado. So that's what this is about, and I love Mike Leigh, so anything by Mike Leigh I'm definitely going to check out. So I am really looking forward to checking out Topsy Turvy and giving you guys an in-depth review on that one. And this one, I have looked at this, I think, every sale, and I don't know why I never bought it, because it's just, it sounds fascinating. I hope it's as good as it sounds. It's Spine number 645, The Ballad of Narayama. And this is the cover. It's a really cool cover. And I'll read you the synopsis of this one. It's from 1958. It's 98 minutes, and it's in color, but it is in Japanese with English subtitles. And this is the basic premise. This haunting, kabuki-inflected version of a Japanese folk legend is set in a remote mountain village where food is scarce and tradition dictates that citizens who have reached their 70th year must be carried to the summit of Mount Narayama and left there to die. The sacrificial elder at the center of the tale is Orin, a dignified and dutiful woman who spends her dwindling days securing the happiness of her loyal widowed son with a respectable new wife. So this sounds really amazing, and I am a big fan of Japanese film and tradition and their stories and folklore and the whole thing. I love it. So I am really looking forward to checking out this one, and I can't believe I haven't watched it up until this point. So that's the next one I got. And this one, I know a lot of you know, some of you don't know. One of my 4 dachshunds passed away at the age of 16 at the beginning of the month, so that's why I've been a little shaky this month. But it was a tough time. It was very, very difficult for me to bounce back from that, but I'm getting there, and time heals. So this one is I hear wonderful things about it. It's supposed to be a very good film, a very moving film, but a very sad film, and you'll see for those reasons that I just gave you, I don't think I'll be watching this one for a little while, but it's one that I've wanted in my collection for a very long time. It's spine number 201, Umberto D. And as you can see, there's an elderly gentleman there with his cute little dog. Looks like a little Jack Russell Terrier to me. And this, I love Bicycle Thieves, and this is the follow-up to the second film by the same director, same as Bicycle Thieves. So this one's from 1952. It's in black and white. It's in Italian with English subtitles, and I'll read to you from the back. It's about an elderly pensioner as he strives to make ends meet during Italy's post-war economic recovery, which we know from Bicycle Thieves was extremely difficult. He is alone except for his dog, and Umberto struggles to maintain his dignity in a city where human kindness seems to have been swallowed up by the forces of modernization. So I hear that this is a real one. This really pulls at the heartstrings, so it's going to be a little while before I can watch this one and give you guys a review on it, but I do plan to watch it because I have wanted to see it for quite some time. So that is Umberto D. And this next one, this is a black comedy. I hadn't heard of this. I saw somebody else pick it up and talk about it, and I was thinking to myself, I have got to get my hands on that one. It is Spine, number 891, La Poison. Hopefully I said that right. Is it La Poison, La Poison? I don't know. Yeah, you tell me. Tell me in the comments. How do you say that? Look at that. It's obviously French, so tell me how to say it. It's from 1951. It's 85 minutes. It's in black and white, and it is in French with English subtitles. And basically what we have is we have a couple who's been married for 30 plus years. They are sick of each other, and they are both trying to think of ways to kill the other person. So that's the premise of the movie, and it sounds like it's just hilarious. And it says right on the back, it's a black comedy, so you know it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be quirky. And if you have that kind of sense of humor, I know I do, so if you have that kind of sense of humor, I think you probably want to, do yourself a favor and check this one out, because it looks and it sounds like it's going to be really good. So as soon as I watch that, I will definitely give you a review. And this next one I've heard about for a long time as well. It is spine number 707, Il Sorpasso. And this is also supposed to be it's a comedy too, but it's a road trip comedy. And I love road trip movies. They're just so much fun, and they can either be a lot of fun or horrible things happen. So either way, I'm good with it. I can handle either one. This one's from 1962, 105 minutes. It's black and white. It's in Italian with English subtitles. And everybody that I know who has this or has watched it has really enjoyed it, so I am looking forward to it as well. And it's still coming in the nice box set format, so if you like the box set format, you can get that. There you go. And this is one that I did pick up from Barnes & Noble, not Amazon. And this last one, this is such a great film, and it is a beautiful Criterion edition. It's spine number 97 because it was in the collection way back when in DVD form. It is a Spike Lee joint called Do the Right Thing. And I recently watched this probably about a month and a half ago on Blu-ray, and I'd seen it before, but I rewatched it, and it's so good. It's one of those films that just holds up over time. And basically, it's here we go. We'll just read it. Set on one block of Brooklyn's Bed-Stuy do-or-die neighborhood at the height of the summer, this 1989 masterpiece by Spike Lee confirmed him as a writer and filmmaker of peerless vision and passionate social engagement. Over the course of a single day, the easygoing interactions of a cast of unforgettable characters give way to heated confrontation as tensions rise along racial fault lines, ultimately exploding into violence. It is a fantastic movie, and it has so many social statements, and it's a very layered film, and what seems like a very happy-go-lucky light film turns into a film with a lot of really deep-rooted meaning, and I just found it to be fantastic. And again, it's from 1989. It's 120 minutes. It is in color, and it's in English, and this is so beautiful. I'm just going to show you the packaging. It comes in a nice hard slip box. You have the cover there. You have you can it's got a new 4K digital restoration, so you might want to pause it there and take a look at the bottom paragraph because it's all the special features that it comes with. It comes with a beautiful book, and of course I put the blue sticker with Spike Lee's signature on it, and it's a beautiful book. I don't know if it's a script or if it's just essays. I'm not really sure. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I just got this in, so I haven't had a chance to look at it. But it's a really thick book. It's over 100 pages, so you can see it's a really, really nice book that comes with it. And then you have some great artwork. You have Sal's Famous Pizzeria, which that's kind of the centerpiece of the movie. And we have, here we go. And then you have the fruit and vegetable stand over here. And then we just have some, I have to show you this. Have some nice disc work, artwork on the disc. And let's get the second one out. The second one here. And then you have a little shot of the one part of the neighborhood. So between that and then the back, really nice. So yeah, if you're a fan of Spike Lee and you like these kind of movies, I would highly recommend picking up Do the Right Thing, because I think they have probably once I pop this in and take a look at it, I will probably be blown away from what I've heard. But it is a beautiful looking edition, so I can't wait to give it another look. And yes, I'm going to watch it sooner than later. So those are my pickups as of this week, Tuesday the 30th of July. And I'm going to just cut away, grab my review films, and I will be right back. Okay, my friends, I'm back, and I have my 3 movies. I'm just going to give you some brief overviews, bullet points, brief plot synopsis. We'll talk about the special features. I'll show you the packaging so you can decide for yourself if these are films you want to put on your shopping list or add to your collection now or at a later time. And I'm just going to get right into it. This first one was a viewer recommendation from, I think, my last Criterion video. So thank you to the person who recommended this. I checked it out and it sounded good, so I picked it up. Spine number 637, Purple Noon. And this one is actually from 1960. It's 117 minutes. It's in color. It's in French with English subtitles. And it's actually the film adaptation of the novel called The Talented Mr. Ripley. And if that sounds familiar, it's because in 1999 there was an American remake of this movie called The Talented Mr. Ripley, and it starred Matt Damon as Tom Ripley. So basic plot synopsis is Tom Ripley is an American who has allegedly been hired by a young man's father to go to Rome to get him to come home. The young man who Tom Ripley is supposed to find goes by the name of Philippe Greenleaf, and he is living happily in Rome. He has a girlfriend, he has a boat, he's got a place to live, he's very set there, and he does not want to go home. But this Tom Ripley guy, he's a real charmer, wheeler dealer, chameleon. He can fit into any environment, and he just kind of blends in, and he makes sure he doesn't stand out, and he knows what to say, how to say it, how to get people's attention without drawing attention to himself. So he's a pretty cunning guy, and you can tell right away that he knows what he's doing, and he knows, it's not something that he hasn't done before, and it's a little off-putting. He definitely has an air about him that makes you, as the viewer, think if you were in that position with him, you'd definitely feel a little guarded. And he, of course, makes contact with Philippe and Philippe's girlfriend, and he's kind of trying to worm his way in with them and try and convince him to come home. And without giving anything away, because it's so easy to spoil this one, without giving anything away, what I can tell you is that because of Tom Ripley's character and his motives, things tend to take a very dark turn very early in the movie, and there is a lot going on. There's a big story arc with his character, but definitely one that's worth your watch. I would say it's along the lines of like a psychological thriller type of thing. Really good, and great performances all around. So that's as much as I can say without totally spoiling the film, because if I say one more thing, it's going to totally blow it. But this one has a new digital restoration. It looked really good. It was beautifully shot. I mean, it was supposed to take place in Rome. I'm not sure if they actually shot it in Rome, but it was gorgeous. It was a beautifully shot movie. You have some interviews with the director and some film scholars. There's some archival interviews, especially with the novelist who wrote the book, The Talented Mr. Ripley, Patricia Highsmith. So that would probably be a very interesting extra to watch. And there's also an essay book featuring essays by film critic Jeffrey O'Brien and excerpts from a 1981 interview with the director. So let me just show you. This is the cover. And that is Mr. Ripley there on the cover. And on the back we have the extras and the specs. So if you want to pause that and take a look. And there's not a ton of extras on this one, so I don't know that it's one that you would definitely be buying for the extras. You're really buying it for the film. And it's a good one. It held my attention the whole time. It was really good. I enjoyed it. We just have purple on the disc, not a lot of fancy artwork. And then you have a nice I think it's like a 37-page book, like I said, with essays and interviews. And then you have some stills from the movie. Check that out. He's definitely a creepy guy. He's got an ick factor to him. But yet the girls love him, so he knows what to do. He's a schmoozer, as I call them. But here we go, some more interviews and essays. But yeah, this is really good, and like I said, even if you've seen the American remake, I would definitely give this one a look, or at least put it on your list to check out. And that's the interior artwork. So yeah, Purple Noon was an excellent recommendation. So to the person who recommended this to me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I'm very happy to have it in my collection. So definitely put this one on your list, guys. It is spine number 637, Purple Noon. Okay, and this next one is a film that so many people have recommended to me, and when I showed it in a haul, I can't tell you how many people said to me, watch it right away, you're going to love it. And I've had a lot of sleepless nights over this month, and one of them, it was about 2 in the morning, and I decided to put this in, and I was blown away. It is spine number 381, La Haine. And it's easier to just read from the back, so I can give you like a broad plot synopsis. This is a visually explosive look at the racial and cultural volatility in modern-day France, specifically the low-income districts on Paris's outskirts. Aimlessly passing their days in the concrete environments of their dead-end suburbia, our three main characters, Vince, Hubert, and Saeed, a Jew, an African, and an Arab, give human faces to France's immigrant populations, their bristling resentment at the marginalization slowly simmering until it reaches a climactic boiling point. And this movie is from 1995. It is 97 minutes. It's in black and white. It's in French with English subtitles. And basically the way the movie starts out is with actual footage of riots that were going on in France, in Paris. And the first few minutes of this film just hit you like a freight train. You absolutely know what you're getting into. And then we cut to the film, and the film starts and we find out there's been a riot the night before, and our three main guys, one of their friends is currently in the hospital. He's hospitalized as a result of a beating that he received during this riot, and they say it's at the hands of the police officers, so they're angry, they want to, they want revenge, they want to do this, they want to do that. And also, a police officer has lost a gun somewhere in the projects during all this scuffle, and we don't know who has the gun. So the big question is, who found the gun? Who's got the police officer's gun? And we follow our friends, we follow our three main guys as they are just trying to live their day-to-day, and you can just see everywhere they go that there's always the potential for conflict. There's short fuses. There's a lot of hostility between various gangs in the projects and between the guys in the projects and the law enforcement. It's just, that something bad can happen at any second. One person says the wrong thing, all hell's going to break loose. And, we don't really know what or who is going to cause this to happen, but it continues to happen. So everywhere these guys go, they are just constantly, they're either looking for trouble or they're finding trouble. So we have our one guy who is the African guy, and he is a boxer, and he worked really hard to get a gym so he could do boxing and have teach the kids how to box and whatnot to kind of give them an out. And because of the riots, his gym has been burned down. So he's kind of lost all hope. And this movie just highlights how hard it is for these kids and these young people who have been born into this social class and this life, how hard it is. Even when they want to get out, they can't get out. And I think that's the big message in here, is that even, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you want to get out, you can't get out. So that's the basic premise of the movie without giving too much away. I don't want to give away who does what or who ends up where, because I think this is a movie that you really should just watch on your own. It's a very safe blind buy. I don't say that about a lot of things, but this one's a really safe blind buy. If you don't mind the violence, some drug use, and things like typical things that you would expect from a movie like I've just described. But yeah, La Haine is definitely a good one. And exploring the differences and the issues with the social classes and whatnot, and especially things that have been going on apparently in Paris. And what we have here is restored high definition digital transfer. It was supervised by the director. We have an introduction by Jodie Foster, which I didn't know was on here, and I didn't watch it, so I definitely want to go back and watch that. They have a 10-year reunion it's a documentary, it's a 10-year reunion that brings together the cast and the crew a decade after this film was done so that they can talk about its impact. And there's also a featurette on the film's setting, where they shot the film, things like that. There's deleted and extended scenes, and there's also an essay book which includes essays by film scholars. So like the other one, not a lot of extras, but you're buying it for the film, and this is one heck of a film. So yeah, definitely check out La Haine. And I showed you the cover. Here's the back. If you want to pause it and take a look at the specs and the special features. And then the disc art is real simple. It's just the Criterion symbol, a logo with the film's name. And then we have an essay book, and it shows our three main guys on the front. And this guy here, he's the boxer. This one, he's the one who wants to get out, and he can't find his way out. And I'm not going to show you that because it's a spoiler. And like I tell you guys, I've told you in the past, when they come with the essay books, read the essay book after you see the movie, because like I said, even this picture here, it's a spoiler. So you don't want to have any spoilers before you read the movies, but before you watch the movies. But there's our guys sitting. And then you have, the essays. But yeah, it's a really nice book. I always like it when they include a booklet. But it's a good one. So definitely check out La Haine. It will definitely make you think. That is spine number 381. And now this last one, This one just recently came out. It's only been out, I think, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most. It is Spy Number 984, 1984. It is based on George Orwell's book by the same title. And this was done in 1984. It's 110 minutes, it's in color, and it is in English. And basically, I'll just give you a brief synopsis. In a rubble-strewn surveillance state where an endless overseas war props up the repressive regime of the all-seeing Big Brother, and all dissent is promptly squashed. A profoundly alienated citizen, Winston Smith, who is played brilliantly by John Hurt, risks everything to have an illicit affair with the rebellious Julia, defiantly asserting his humanity in the face of soul-crushing conformity. So basically, what it is they're living in this totalitarian society where they believe they're being told by Big Brother that this war is going on. And they have jobs like rewriting news, rewriting history, rewriting newspapers, and changing facts. And they have these things called thought crimes. If they believe they're having thoughts that go against Big Brother, they're brought in for questioning, and they're tortured, and they're not allowed to think for themselves. They're not allowed to have physical relationships between men and women. They teach them that sexual pleasure is not something that they're allowed to have. So then the two characters having a sexual affair is a crime against Big Brother, a crime against the state, and, you know, if they get found out, it could be the end of their lives. But this is a terrifying, it's equal parts interesting and terrifying, because there's so much that goes on that you can see has happened in other societies, and even continues to happen today. I mean, talk about Big Brother watching. How many times have you looked at your phone, looked at your Instagram feed, and something that you were talking about, an advertisement for it, shows up on your phone? I mean, we're being watched all the time, and I know this takes it to an extreme level, but it's out there and it's happening, and it's never been more relevant than it is today. But this film is a masterpiece, and I think everybody should see it. But I really, really enjoyed this, and it's a very bleak looking film. You know, everything is it looks like a typical war-torn country. Buildings are crumbling, there's garbage all over the place, food is being rationed. They only get so much. Like, they, in the beginning, they're talking about that chocolate rations might go up. One guy's been using the same razor for 6 weeks. So it's not like these people in this country are flourishing because the government is running it. They are actually held in poverty, and they're held down from doing anything to better themselves, even when it comes down to the food they eat or how they, you know, their toiletries. So it's really a tough look at what a totalitarian society can become. But yeah, really, really terrifying stuff that goes on in this movie. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the cinematography was great. John Hurt gave an amazing performance. And he really, just his face alone showed the impact of what was going on. But I highly recommend it. I don't want to give too much away because I know a lot of people have read the book. I read the book. I hadn't seen the movie in a really long time. So I thought they did a great job with the Criterion edition. It is a new 4K digital restoration that was supervised by the cinematographer. There are two different scores, one of them being by the Eurythmics and another one is by a composer. There's new interviews with the director. There's an interview with David Ryan, author of George Orwell, a book on George Orwell, behind the scenes footage, a trailer, an essay by writer and performer A.L. Kennedy. So again, not a ton of extras, but you are buying it for the movie, and this movie has a message, and it hammers the message home. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend 1984. And again, like I said, it's done in 1984. It's 110 minutes. So this is the cover. I think my favorite part was probably the thought crimes. Like, they actually feel like they know what you're thinking, and if you're thinking anything against Big Brother, it's a crime. It's crazy. It's just crazy. But, you know, you never know what can happen. Here's the back if you want to see the special effects and the extras. And then we have pretty cool disc art, if I can get the disc out. There we go. And then we have a leaflet. Like this. And then we have essays. And then, of course, I love this. Big Brother is watching you. Isn't that the truth? Think in Newspeak, because a Newspeak is that they're rewriting the dictionary and they're putting new words in and they're making up words and new meanings for the words. So it says speak in Newspeak. And Newspeak is the dictionary. They're on, I think, the 10th edition when the film is being made. And then that's the inside artwork. So that would be my last recommendation, and like I said, I really, really enjoyed, I hate to say I enjoyed it because it's a terribly depressing film, but I think it's a very important film. So if you haven't seen 1984, definitely put it on your list. That is Spine number 984. So those are my movie Criterion picks that I wanted to go over with you for this segment, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments, suggestions, recommendations, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll know when I upload my videos. And like I said, I still have my my 10 Stranded on a Desert Island picks, and I want to try and get another Criterion video in before the sale is over. So hopefully I'm going to get that done this week. And I want to thank you as always for being here and watching, supporting me, supporting the channel. You know I appreciate everything you guys do. That's going to do it for me today because I am so hungry. So I'm going to go and eat my dinner and sit with my puppies. And for me, that's a wrap.